I can sing for you. Ready? At first I was afraid, I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. And then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong. And I grew strong. And I learned how to get along. And so you're right. No, not feeling the
So we thinking that's the intro or the outro?
Dude, I like.
If y'all ever wonder if I have my laptop for questions and stuff, just know I'm not. Like,
It's like playing Roblox.
It's a prop. You are not connected to the internet.
Wait, do you know how to connect
You're a
to the
scammer, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, you're scamming the people.
It's a lie, guys. It's a
It's
lie.
propaganda. Straight propaganda.
Yeah. If you're new or returning, welcome back to the DGG podcast. My name is Jeffrey, and I will be the host of today's episode. So today, I am joined here with 3 members of what class are you guys a part of?
Are we saying it together? DPC. We are holding our annual Love Town Hall, which is the second town hall of the year.
Third
overall with the UBHR. Second for our class.
So can you tell me a little bit about DPC?
Okay, so DPC is the Future Academy Senior Elective, and it stands for Developmental Psychology of Children. But we don't just learn about psychology in there. We do lots of like mindfulness stuff, and we have this internship where we go to Bay Elementary School, and once a month we'll teach a lesson to the kids there. So it's kind of like a little bit of everything. And we also put on the town halls, which is next week, and it's basically like a show to like bring community in our academy, basically.
Well, it's the senior pathway elective. So, like how health and medicine, they have their pathway electives, and you have to take, is it 3 or 4 of them? Is it 3? 3 of them. Futures also has their pathway electives. So you start with intro to ed, and then you have DPA, and then you go into DPC, which is what we're taking. So DPC is really just another pathway for us to graduate with distinction.
So let's start off by answering the question, what is a town hall?
So basically, I mean, if you want to go back, like, let me go back to APUSH. A town hall is like what, a meeting of some sorts where people would like get together and like kind of, I think it was just do like government things. Like I generally think that's what like the actual definition is, but for ours, I guess it is coming together. Our whole class comes together as a community to build new ideas and find ways to actually bring the Futures Academy together, because there's like such a separation with grades that we feel like, oh, we should make it entertaining, but as well as being entertaining, we have to make it like meaningful and keep to the topic of whatever the town hall is. So like, for example, for this town hall, yes, we want to make it entertaining, have the kids, have the audience have fun, but like we also have to like realize, okay, like we have to stick to the love. And for this Love Town Hall, we want to focus on not just like relationship love, but like friends, love between friends, love between family. So it's like a juggle, to keep it serious, but also to keep it fun and entertaining, so people don't hate on you afterwards and they're like, oh, this sucked.
Yeah, it also gives the underclassmen something to look forward to in the rest of their high school years, especially because the juniors also put on a town hall. So the sophomores and freshmen get to look up to like the 2 older classes and are like, oh, well, if we get to this year and we do this class, then we get to put on a town hall and we get to put in our own ideas and stuff. And it's really just another way for like our class to express our creativity in different ways. And every DPA and DPC class, we always do like, we have like the same format of a town hall, but we always have like different ways of portraying what the message is of the town hall. And I think that's what really makes town halls more interesting and unique.
From everybody's knowledge, town halls are a future specific thing. Like, even if you were like, let's say me, a health and medicine student, wanted to go to a town hall, like I wouldn't be able to go in. Why is it such an exclusive thing to Futures Academy and not a performance for everybody at school?
Because I think the thing with small learning academies, like the point of them is to like bring people with similar interests into a group like that, and to be able to like build that sort of community in like a smaller group. Because when you have a school of like 1,600 students, it's hard for like people to be connected. But I think having like Futures be that like connection between these students it like kind of creates that sort of community for our academy. And also because Futures is like a social justice academy, what we focus on, like especially with DPA, like the UDHR town hall, we focus a lot about like human rights and like the social justice aspect of it. So I think it helps people like understand the message of our academy. And I feel like we would love to, I mean, it'd be ideal to be able to make this performance for everybody, but I think it might just be difficult to like coordinate all that, especially with like administration and stuff.
I think I think Zimmerman has talked about trying to make it like school wide, but like what Kelly said, like administration and stuff, some people might not like it because it could be like a waste of time or something. But I think there's definitely been conversation about that, but it's all because of scheduling and preferences and something that can't really be cohesively brought together.
Yeah, and like with our town halls, we have it in the cafeteria, and the cafeteria they have the blinds that come down, and it kind of creates like a blacked out theater, and I feel like it gives it more of like an intimate like experience for everyone that's watching compared to us just like doing it in the gym like it's a normal assembly and stuff. Because as someone in committee, doing a skit in the gym is really hard to do when there's people like all around you instead of just having like an audience straight in front of you. So I feel like just space is also one of the biggest factors of why like our town halls can't be shared with the entire school. Whoa.
Oh,
Is that the rain?
Yeah.
it is the rain.
Is this hurricane season?
Oh my god.
What does this mean for 3/4 of the rest of the school who can't see your performances, who can't experience your town halls?
I'll be in my ceramics class, for example, and like a bunch of and I'll like start talking about it. Oh, the town halls, and like they won't know what like we're talking about. I'm like, oh, you know the town halls, and they're like, no, babe, like I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So honestly, to me, it is like disappointing that people don't get to see it because, like we said, it is such like a not life changing. It's like something nice to experience, you know.
Mhm. For health and med leadership, we tried doing our medicine cabinets, which
Oh,
are
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
much town halls, but year after year, like we have not gotten a single one ever since COVID, I believe. How would you guys encourage other SLCs to participate in such like coordinated events like these?
I think the hard thing with the other SLCs is that our DPC, like our pathway classes, are like it's built into our pathway classes to build these town halls. So we're able to like have this class effort be coordinated and like really organized and structured. But this year we started our FLC. So basically it stands for Future Leadership Council. And it's basically just like a group of, I think it's like 15 seniors who are in DPC right now. And we sort of plan more things for this academy. So I think just encouraging leadership groups to work with like the teachers and advisors to actually coordinate these town halls, or even like asking Ms. Zimmerman or asking DPC students like how to better like create these things would be really helpful. And like the drama department is also enormously helpful with our productions and stuff. Like they handle a bunch of the light and the sound stuff that we never would be able to do on our own.
I actually have a question. The
Question for me.
yes, for you.
Oh, tables have turned, guys.
The health and medicine, like your classes, right? Like classes you take, like PBS and HBS, are those? They're not like you have to take them like in a certain order, right?
No,
And I
but
think
they're encouraged to.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah. And I feel like that's also something that like could be maybe like be a factor to it. So like ours are like you have to take intro to help for your public speaking. You have to take DPA to get to know what a town hall is and how this environment is more different than the environment that you had in intro. And then you take DPC as your final like goodbye, or you know, I know what I know, and I'm gonna learn more. And I think maybe that's why we're able to do this stuff too and have such a stronger community, because we start off DPA like as a bunch of kids from not DPC, from intro that didn't know each other. Like, you know, because we have two intro classes and they have to cut it down to DPA. So, you know, from DPA, we like actually build the bond. Like we say it in class all the time. We may not have the strongest bond, but when it comes to like working together and like coming together, honestly, like as a family, we really do have that bond that we build. And I think having those strict classes like for each year is something that helps like the academy be together and, you know, be able to do those town halls and stuff.
Yeah, and I think especially with our work for FLC and like organizing like our movie nights and helping organize what goes on for mentee and mentor events, I feel like that plays a big part in it because it also gets our freshmen involved too, and it's not just like, oh, the 10th through 12th graders are doing this activity and the freshmen don't get anything out of it. And I think that also like gives them the encouragement to keep going with the pathway classes. And I feel like our mentee mentor system, it really does, I feel like it does help, especially it helped for me because it got me closer to like people who were taking the pathway classes, and it kind of did encourage me to like look more into it and stuff. And yeah, I just feel like if we have like the set classes like the step 1, step 2, step 3 for your pathway, I feel like that because you're with the same people throughout each class, I feel like that's what brings your community closer together, especially in such like a small class, even though it's not really that small, but like even in a class like us, it really brings us all together and makes us a lot closer than we were before. So yeah.
I also think that because, like, to add on to your points, like, because they're like one class after the other and you stay with that same group of people, and on top of that, we have like a bunch of like bonding field trips. Like, we did this in DPA, we did this ropes course field trip where we kind of did like these group activities to like get us up the course, and I think that really helped us to like bond with each other. And I think a really important part of these shows is to be able to like have that community, to be able to communicate openly, to be able to like organize like a show of that caliber. And we also do like overnight field trips that also really help us bond because it takes us out of that school environment and it puts us in like a place where we can see each other like for real.
Y'all actually do a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like for underclassmen, freshmen and sophomores are able to switch out of their SLC if they wanted to go to a new one. And you guys were saying about how there's classes where you have to take them consecutively in a certain order. Do you think it's difficult for people who transfer into your academy to get reacclimated with how your academy works?
I don't think so because especially with our class, like going from DPA to DPC, we're already pretty close in like our individual groups, if you will. But we also had some people that dropped out of DPA, leaving spaces in our class for future students. So a few seniors from our Futures Academy, they were able to join DPC, and they fit in like just fine. And it like, I don't know how to explain it, but like once they were thrown in the mix, everything just like continued to work perfectly. Like once you're in the class and you just get to know people like even in the slightest bit, it brings you into an entirely different world than being outside of the pathway class. And it just gives you a whole new sense of community and what community is about, and it just brings you closer to all these people, regardless if you were from the beginning or you just joined.
And you think the same thing applies to people who switch into your academy and then into these classes?
Yeah.
I don't know how to put what I'm thinking into words, but I can see how it could be difficult for maybe some freshmen that like switch maybe from like trend or something into futures, and all of a sudden they're like thrown into this world that they don't know. But I think if you have friends that are in the Futures Academy and they tell you like, oh my god, we're doing this and that, and this is why you get like this is why you want to transition from one academy to the other, then I think it isn't as difficult. I think as long as you have people that have like told you like what they're experiencing, I think you should be like good.
Mhm.
I don't know if that made sense, but
No.
it's like
Yeah, and I think the public speaking part of Intro to Ed, I think that helps us bring in other people from the academy or like people that switch into the academy, because Intro to Ed helps us like open up more and talk to other people. Even DPA does that too, because we learn about ourselves. So then those two classes, I feel like it really allows us to connect with other people outside of the class, and it lets us like, interact with other people more open-mindedly than we have before, instead of just shutting them out.
So, for those freshmen and sophomores who are considering switching into a different academy, what would you tell them about these town halls and what you guys do on a daily basis?
Look, I don't want to be like biased or anything, but honestly, I think that switching into futures is one of like the best choices you can make. My brother is currently coming to Arroyo. He's an eighth grader, and he got put, I think, into trend or something. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like I've been like teasing him about it, how he should have picked futures first, because for futures it's such like a good way to open up. Like, I was such a shy kid when it was freshman year. Like, I felt like I didn't really know anybody. I had like one like friend coming in, like one solid friend coming into the high school world. But going into futures, I think more sophomore years when I opened up and I was like I didn't know I could be this like bubbly and energetic in front of other people besides maybe like my family. But I think, taking these pathways and taking futures has really helped. And the town halls, they help because you're like, wow, like maybe in a few 3 years I can be doing this too. Like, I couldn't like I can't imagine myself doing that in front of like 200 people that come to the town halls. Like, I can't imagine myself doing that, but maybe in 3 years I'll have enough courage to like be up on that stage and sing or dance or do skits and stuff like that. So I think town halls and the Future Academy is just like a super helpful way for kids to open up and, find their true selves.
Kelly, you got something to say?
Kind of on the same note as your brother. My sister's in eighth grade right now, and when they were picking academies, she asked me, like, what academy do you think you should do? And I told her, like, Futures is one of the best academies there is because of the community that we're able to build. And I think being in Futures has really shaped my high school experience because, like Zitlali, I was a really shy kid. I never would have imagined myself going up there, but as a freshman watching these town halls, I was really inspired to like one day be up there because they made me feel like I was actually a part of a community, that I was like, I don't know, just like connected to other people. And it was really nice.
And then, like, for me, I didn't have any older siblings when I was at home. I'm the oldest sibling, and I had people that were living with us, like my cousin, I guess, and she came here, but she never really told me anything about the school or the academies. So when I got here, everything was fresh in my mind. Like, when I got the letter that was like, oh, futures, I was like, perfect, this is what I signed up for, but what am I really doing? Orientation day, they told us about everything. Then, you progress into the year, and like everything was fresh in my mind. Like, it was new to me. Like, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't have like Zimmerman as a past teacher. I didn't have any older siblings. So for me, it was like, I didn't expect to grow as a person, it kind of just happened.
Mhm.
So that's what I thought is nice about it too.
Honestly, I agree with all of your guys' points because although I will say health and med pride, okay? Don't get me wrong, Miss Mendel. For me, I didn't know anybody when I came to this school. So it was hard for me to branch out and, be friends with other people. And I feel like if I knew what Futures was, then I probably would have been in one of your guys' classes, honestly. Because I joined health and med because I wanted to do psychology. And then when I found out that you guys literally have 2 psychology courses, I was like, no, bro. Don't get me wrong. I grew to love health and medicine and what we do, like biotech, HBS, PBS, and all that. But I think when you're a very scared and lonely freshman who doesn't really know what they're going to do, I think starting off with Futures is a really great idea because, there's a lot going on in your academy. You learn health, science, and then there's also these aspects of like actual person skills, communication and coordination, and your guys are doing skits and dancing and doing backflips on stage and then just singing.
It's like we do yoga. Like,
yeah, you guys even do yoga. You guys have a yoga room.
I don't know. I feel like I'd be a whole different person because I was almost sent to SLZ, and I like begged and weaved my way through the district to be sent to Arroyo. And then my first pick was health and med, and I was like, when I got the letter that said, "Oh, you're at Arroyo, but you're in Futures," I was like, cool. So, what is that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I feel like I would have been a whole different person if I was either at SOZ or even like just in health and med. Like I feel like I wouldn't be as open of a person as I am now, rather than if I was in any different academy, just because of how open we are with each other and how close of a bond we have with our teachers too. Like especially like with you guys in health and medicine too. Your guys bond with Miss Mendel is like pretty up there. So I feel like the teachers also play a big aspect in like the bonding of our academy too.
I would like to say that although futures may be on top, health and med is right.
No, like I'm not even gonna lie. Health and med and futures are like those top two.
They're like neck and neck.
Yeah, there's like not to I don't know, maybe you'll cut this out. No trash on trend and tech links, but all I ever see from them is like their car stuff.
Automatons.
There you go. Haven't they won stuff? They're good.
They're great.
Guys are real smart.
I just feel bad
cannot
for
do
Trend because every time we talk about, oh, we have a town hall, oh, we have an overnight trip, oh, we're going on a college tour, Trend is always like, the Trend students are like, we haven't had a field trip ever. And I'm like, I just feel bad because like we have such a tight-knit community in health and med and in futures, and it's like that same tight-knit community isn't spread throughout the rest of the SLCs like it should be.
This is a message to all those SLCs. Y'all gotta bring some
all
activities
those
for your
teachers,
students.
like y'all gotta put some pep in your step, like with
Yeah.
the students, like the FLC group. I think if like Tech Links and Trend had that stuff, I feel like they'd be like up here,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
I think teachers actually play a really big role in how like academies are structured, because I feel like because of like the way because our teachers are so close knit, their relationship is kind of like passed on to us, because they like teach us to be like really involved in our community, and they teach us to like really connect with each other. And I think that's a really big part of why the Future Academy is the way it is because of the passion the teachers put in.
Honestly, I agree with that. I did my last year of Strong Start in the beginning of
yeah.
August. So sad, but I mean, I feel like when there's SLCs and then they have activities that go along with their SLC, and it strays far from the fact that like it's, for example, for us, like even Strong Start, it wasn't even just health based. It was just more like, oh, get to know like some of the people that you're gonna see throughout the year and like the teachers and the kind of work that we do. And I remember I walked in on Miss Mendel and Miss Johnson one day when I was like leading the class, like our students, and they were talking about how much I've grown as a person. Like my personality changed a whole lot, and I'm much more like free. And honestly, like when they said that, I started thinking about it, and I was like, yo, like I'm a completely different person than I was freshman year, and I feel like I owe that so much to the teachers that I've had over the years, and that has to do in part with Miss Johnson, Miss Mendel, and like even still now, like even Miss Bree. I feel like I opened up more again like sophomore year, because those were when my pathway classes started happening. And when I met teachers with that kind of attitude, like even Mr. S, like they're not like, oh, they're more free, they're more comfortable, they're more chill.
Someone's calling you.
Is it my mom?
Nana, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, Tita, you're messing it up.
I'm up.
Hi guys.
We could wrap up in 2 minutes.
Shh, this is our ASMR. Wait.
Thank you guys so much for coming today
Thank
and
you for
letting
having
us
us.
know about like Futures Academy and letting your future students know that like there's a town hall next week. What day is it?
Oh,
February 14th.
Valentine's Day.
What period?
Sixth period.
Yes.
Oh, it's at the end of the day?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the best part.
Also, SOZ versus Arroyo rival game on February 14th at SOZ. So make sure you're there and be there early if you do go, because those stands fill up real fast.
Real fast. Make sure to what's it called? Applaud our team.
Cheer on your dons.
Cheer on your dog.
And wear your red. Don't wear maroon. Wear your red.
Bright red. 1, 2, 3.
Go Dons!
Bro, Kelly.
Kelly, you didn't interlink.
No, don't.
You didn't interlink, bro. I literally just said go Dons. You're supposed to connect. Oh!
There we go again.
R.I.P. Jeffrey's phone. That's another crack in the screen.